Hi, my name is Christy O'Shoney. I am a psychotherapist at My Therapy NYC, and today I'm going to be talking about the different kinds of relationships that can be impacted by your attachment style. Now, if you're new to the theory of attachment, you might very understandably be wondering, what is it? So attachment refers to the different kinds of strategies that we use within our interpersonal relationships in order to maintain a sense of safety. So this is based on our earliest relationships in life with our caretakers. So parents, guardians, whoever it was who cared for you early on. So for example, if your parent was somebody who was available to you, if they provided appropriate care and soothing when you were distressed, but also let you explore the world around you and be independent, it's very likely that you tend to form secure attachments today. And what that means is that you feel confident that you're going to get your needs met in relationships and that you just feel generally safe to depend on other people. Many of us, however, had early life experiences that might have resulted in a not so secure attachment style. So this includes those of us whose parents were a bit distant, maybe parents who were way too close, who didn't really allow that exploration and independence, parents who struggled to tolerate outbursts of emotion, parents who were unpredictable in their behavior or who were just unsafe in some way. These types of relationships can result in an insecure attachment style. An insecure attachment can be broken down into anxious attachment and avoidant attachment. So anxious attachment meaning those who feel overly preoccupied with whether or not they'll be abandoned in relationships, and avoidant attachment meaning those who feel like they need to disengage emotionally, even physically at times, to maintain that sense of safety. So why is all of this important? Well, because your early life experience has formed this blueprint for how to stay safe in relationship to others, it's possible you're still using that blueprint even in situations where it's not really useful. So you might find yourself avoiding people who you'd like to get close to, or even becoming just really worried about whether or not somebody cares about you. So let's look at the specific kinds of relationships that are impacted by your attachment style. We often look at attachment through the lens of romantic relationships, and this makes a lot of sense because these are often very close relationships where there's enough safety for conflict to emerge. And attachment really shines in conflict, for better or for worse. But there are plenty of other places where your attachment style can show up, such as in close friendships. So an example of this might be that you feel really worried when you text a friend and they don't text you back. You might find yourself kind of ruminating, wondering if you did something wrong. That would be an example of anxious attachment. For avoidant attachment, an example might be that your friends often tell you that they feel like they don't really know you. You might feel like you're being as open as possible, but there's still something that feels inaccessible to your friends. Another place where attachment can show up is in the workplace. So an example of this for the anxiously attached might be that you receive some negative feedback from your supervisor on a project you did, and you can't stop thinking about this feedback. You even check in with other people in your office to make sure that you're still a good employee, that you're still a good person. An example for an avoidantly attached person might be that you forget to ask for help on something that you really don't understand because it's really not in your nature to seek out others to ask for help. Another place where attachment can show up is in any relationship where there's some kind of power imbalance. So teachers, mentors, religious authorities, even your therapist, right? These are relationships that kind of resemble a parental relationship. So it makes sense that your attachment style will show up there. And on the subject of parental relationships, it's important to remember that your attachment style is still in play in your relationship with your parents, even though you're an adult. And this can feel very distressing to feel pulled back into that dynamic. So what's the good news in all of this? Well, understanding your attachment style can really help you in developing some self-compassion, especially at times when you behave in ways that really don't make sense to you. So instead of asking, why did I do that? You might instead start asking, how is this related to my attachment style? Really just start beating yourself up. Another reason why attachment is such good news is because it's flexible. You might have been oriented towards one end of the spectrum of attachment, but through new relationships and new experiences, lots and lots of practice, it's entirely possible to move towards that secure style of attachment. And while we're on the subject of attachment, I wanted to let you know that I'm actually going to be hosting a webinar on this subject on February 28th. So if some of these ideas are resonating with you, if you want to understand your attachment style and what to do about some of those behaviors that have not made sense to you thus far in life, you are definitely going to want to be at this webinar. So you can sign up at mytherapynyc.com/webinars. And even if you can't make it, do be sure to sign up because we'll be sending out a recording. Thank you so much for watching today. If you liked this video, please be sure to leave a comment on this blog post. And for more resources just like this one, you can check out mytherapynyc.com.